Organized Grind with Oracle Uno.
Yeah.
Recorded live at Graph Fruit Studios in South Minneapolis.
Yes. What's up, world? This is Oracle Uno checking in once again with Organized Grind, the podcast. This is episode number 44, and I am back after a long hiatus. I actually realized I was looking at the episodes, the last one that I did, and you could really tell that I was kind of going through some shit, and like the last episode I feel like was fitting for the hiatus. So I do apologize for the break, but good things continue to happen. Organized Grind, the podcast, is back in action, and we have a very special guest in the building today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
What up, world? My name is Mike Dose. Mike Dose, M-I-C-D-O-S, the New York Color Rican Papi of the Minnesota world.
Yeah, that's right. We got Mike Dose on Organized Grind, the podcast, to join us today. How's everything going with you, man?
Everything's great. I really cannot complain. I'm blessed, you know. I'm blessed to wake up, you know. That's kind of the first thing. But
I feel you.
I'm truly blessed with what's been going on, and you know, I've been putting in the work, and I've been receiving, you know, the fruits of my labor. That's
right. You just had a show last night, right?
Yeah, we did a fundraiser for Puerto Rico. You know, one of the island where my mom's from. You know, to help with the earthquake relief, and you know, obviously the people that are still suffering from the hurricane. So, yeah, all the proceeds went to El Fondo Boricua. Shout out Maria Isa. Shout out 2 for 1.
That's right.
For hosting and throwing the event. It was great. You know, it was good to vibe out and to really put my soul and, you know, to put my my everything into performance, because you know it was to something that means a lot. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's dope. So how we usually start this off is let's just start at the very beginning with you. Do you remember what your first memory of hip hop is?
My first, that's something to think about, because you know, like I'm from New York, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Queens, raised in the Bronx. Kind of was back and forth a lot, you know what I mean?
Sure
and
thing.
You know, my mom's from Puerto Rico, my dad's from Colombia. And I don't know, like if you want to talk about like where I really felt like I heard hip hop, it was through the salsa music and the merengue, you know what I mean? It was hearing those rhythms first.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That really got me to hearing those rhythms and those beats and other things. But honestly, my first memory was listening to the Fugees.
Okay.
My mom was a big Fugees fan, and I'm a big White Club fan.
Okay,
So,
dope, man.
and a Lauren fan, and yeah, just the one song, obviously, and it's like a fan favorite, right? But showing my pain when it's pain, you know, just the don't, you know, just like the plucking of the different instruments. Like for me, those sounds like painted a picture of like the places that I like rode past when I was on the subway. You know what I mean? Like
man.
Seeing like the projects, or seeing like, you know, people hooping in the courts. You know what I mean? Like it was cool. So like a lot of those soundtracks, like also had a movie memory.
Sure,
you know what I mean? So
Fugees then is kind of like
Fugees
that. Is kind of like the first standout.
was
memory.
one of them. I mean, like Big Pun. You know,
for
like,
sure.
You know, there's really a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Merengue hip hop, you know, we're talking about Proyecto Uno, you know, like that was my dad's joint. Like my dad loved listening to Proyecto Uno because it was merengue hip hop. You know, you had Magic One, who was the leader of the group, and he had songs like Tiburon and, you know, like classic jams. But I mean, honestly, my as I got older, obviously my what's the word? My music bank and how I listen to music got older.
Sure, yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So like I started listening to things that my family, my mom, my stepdad, my dad would listen to as they were kids. So
yeah,
you know, so I was going back to Zapp and Roger. And,
there you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know,
man.
like listening to what people would consider hip hop back in the day.
Right,
So,
more of like the like party jams, you know.
Party jams, you know, like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, yo. party all the time.
Yeah, man. You know,
yeah,
like,
yo, that's
you know,
a classic,
like,
though.
Right,
That's a classic.
Right. And, like, honestly, I think I was supposed to be born, like, way back so I could party to those songs. But
I feel you, bro. We missed out on a crazy generation. That was
I'm
nuts.
glad. I am glad. Right. I am glad. But I like wish I could have like had some fun.
Sure.
I wouldn't go back in time though.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Right. No. Very, very dangerous. It's always funny when people bring that up, and it's like, well, that might be good for you, but it might not work out so well over here.
Definitely.
But yo, why don't we talk about Queens, man? What was it like to grow up in Queens, and when was the move from Queens to the Bronx?
So I was born in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
My parents, they met at the supermarket down the street.
Classic.
And we grew up in Middle Village. And, after my parents split, we started kind of bouncing everywhere.
Okay.
My aunt lived in the Bronx and my grandmother lived in the Bronx. So we went and we stayed over there with them, and then kind of moved around, throughout different types of places. Long story short, we ended up in upstate New York, left the city completely, and then got in a car and drove all the way over here.
Okay. So what was the connection from New York to here?
My stepdad, his sister lived over here, my aunt. And she actually worked at this school, which was kind of like a social justice based curriculum school. We kind of talked about it earlier, but yeah, shout out Southside Family School. She worked there. New York wasn't the kind of place to be. We'll just say that. And we got out of Dodge and started a new life here. I went to that school. When we moved here, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the best. You know what I mean? We moved into like the Sharon and Karen Hands like homeless shelter, for not like a long time, but enough to
just
like
a transitional
transitional spot. Shout out to Mary and all them people that helped us, because thank you. You know what I mean? I gotta give a shout out to them because
of course.
I was a kid, but I understood what was going on.
So how old were you when you moved up here to Minnesota? Just to clarify.
Eighth grade.
Eighth grade?
Eighth grade, yeah.
Okay, so that's what? That's like 13?
13, yeah, 13.
Okay.
Yep.
Dope. So you move up here. When did you start playing around with the idea of, this music thing is pretty cool, and I would like to try to make some of it?
Man, music for me, like I said, it stems from a lot of things. I actually played the saxophone as a kid.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and from third grade up.
Wow.
I don't play it anymore.
Oh,
I knew you were gonna ask that.
Yeah, man.
I wish. I mean, I'm sure it's like riding a bike, right?
Right.
But I never forget my grandmother. She got me a saxophone. Like I don't ask questions. I got a saxophone. I was the only kid in the school to have a saxophone.
Yeah, that's so dope.
Everybody else was renting out, the clarinets and
violins.
Like the standard issue instrument set, New York public school. But I was the only one that had that, and the music teacher there was like, yo, can we work on some songs? I play, and it's pretty dope. So I got to work with the music teacher, and I was performing for graduations and all types of stuff.
Wow, man.
It was cool, but so it really started. It started with that.
Okay.
Learning music, and reading notes, and the science of the music, if you will. You know what I mean? I never took a music class or.
Right.
I mean, I went to music class in school, but just the science of having one-on-one teaching about scales and things like that. So, kind of started with that. Started more with singing, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I sing. That's kind of a secret. I like to sing, but I don't know. I have a weird thing about singing.
Yeah.
But,
no, I was hearing Concrete Trees, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, but I had noticed that you have some vocals on there.
Yeah, it's some secret vocals. But but I started with singing. I started doing musical theater when I moved here. I will not forget my mom walking me through the high schools of South High. I went to South.
Oh, dope.
South.
Okay.
And I'm this hard kid from New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I I don't care about Minnesota. Like, whatever. I'm like thinking I'm hot, but I'm not. You know, like
right.
strutting my stuff. But I'm walking through the halls and my mom sees this. She sees this poster for one of the plays, and it was a musical. It was Hello Dolly, and I didn't know nothing about a musical. Or, I mean, I knew like West Side Story, right? And I liked it because it was like Boricuas in there,
right.
and like we were, you know,
Yeah.
we were doing our thing. But that's like the only thing I really knew close to musicals. And she was like, "You should perform. That would make me feel so happy." You know, like moms, they try to guilt you into doing things because you love them. And I love you, Mom. But anyway, so I was like, "Fuck it, whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna go." I auditioned for this play. I sang a Brian McKnight song, 6-8-12. If
Wow.
you know
Okay.
it,
Yeah.
that's my jam. And I sang it. And I like blew everybody away as a freshman. I was the first freshman in like years to like get a lead role, which is pretty dope.
Wow.
Yeah, so I started doing that, and then I kept doing musical after musical, and I never really thought to like really write music. I picked up the guitar. You know, I taught myself how to play guitar.
That's dope.
And then I actually moved to Illinois to go live with my dad. He kind of lived in the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
And I went to audition for a musical there at the school. I was a senior. I had left like right after my junior year here to go to my senior year there. And,
Sure thing.
Which sucked. That was stupid of me, but whatever. It taught me a lot. Anyway, yeah, I tried out for this musical, and they were like, "You're great." Like, gave me all this praise. Then they asked me if I had like these freaking what were they called? Thespian points.
Okay.
If I was like registered with like the National Thespians Association.
Damn.
And I was like, what?
They're like, this dude is serious. He must have some sort of affiliations out here.
No, not even because I was good. Because that's what they based all their casting on.
Oh, I see.
So they're like, what kind of points do you like? Do you have? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a kid. You know,
Right.
I've grown up in, you know, South Minneapolis now from, you know, 8th grade to my junior year, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a kid from the South Side of Minneapolis. Like, I don't have any thespian points. Like,
right.
I just killed this whole, you know, like, not interview, but this whole audition. Like,
yeah.
You know, like, and you told me, like, what's up? And yeah, they didn't cast me there. Like, they put me in a chorus spot. And I was like, oh, yeah. Mike doesn't do chorus spots. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
Shout out Lake Park, but you know, you guys suck. But yeah, after that, I was kind of like discouraged, like to do like acting again.
Okay.
Low key, not discouraged because I was like, oh, nobody thinks I'm good, but just like, man, fuck that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I want to do something that I know that I'm always gonna be good at, and that like I'm always gonna have. You know, my name's always gonna be ringing somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like in a good way.
Yeah.
Not like in like a conceited way, but.
If we could go back just a little bit, what was kind of the culture shock, the things that you noticed from going to school in New York versus coming up here, going to school? Like, what did you notice right away when you made the move from New York up here to Minneapolis?
That's funny you say that. I was just talking to my mom about this.
Oh, yeah?
I noticed how, like, weird people were. That sounds bad.
How so?
It sounds bad, but, like I was riding, I remember the first time I was riding on the light rail, and, like, people are, like, looking at you. You know what I mean? And, like, over there in New York on the subway, at least where I was growing up, you don't look at nobody like that. And if you did, they're going to ask you what's up.
Right.
They'll be like, yo, what's up? You good?
Yeah.
You know, and you'd be like, oh, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah.
I found myself checking people on the light rail as a kid, you know, at 13, like, yo, what's up? You good? And like not even going to lie, like I really was, it was a hard transition to get used to. I'm not trying to like diss my peoples. This is my
Not at all,
city
man.
now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah. Of course.
I'm Minnesota now. I've lived here for a long time.
Of course, man.
But I feel like in New York, people are mad real. It's real. You
As
know what I mean?
far as like direct.
Very direct.
Yeah.
Like they don't care about how you feel about what they're gonna say because that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There's no questions. I don't want to hear you talking after that. What we saying, that's the conversation. Goodbye. Peace. You know what I mean? Like, and that's it. Like over here, it's it's a lot of, I feel like people are very overtly nice for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be that nice to somebody. And we know that you don't want to be that nice. So don't be that nice to somebody. Right. You know, they call it Minnesota nice, but it's like, I have to be like this because of what people are going to think of me. No. I like you for you and how you act. And if we're walking down the street and somebody steps on your shoe, what are you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be like, yo, what's good, yo? Like, damn, bro, you just stepped on my shoe.
Right.
Some people would be like, oh, no, you're good. Don't worry about it. You're good.
Yeah.
No. You know, and it's little things like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was one of the big things, I think, for me, is like having to be nice. That sounds bad because, like, I wasn't nice. You know, I was kind of a bad kid.
Sure.
You know, before I moved here.
Okay.
You know, hanging out with bad people. You know what I mean?
What kind of stuff did he get into?
Oh man, that's in the past.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. All right, man. That's fine.
We'll just say I moved here for a reason. Minnesota saved
Word
my
up.
life.
Got you,
know what
man.
I mean?
I got you.
Minnesota definitely saved my life. But
that's what's up.
Yeah. So I came over here and I thought I was Billy Badass, and I wasn't. It didn't take for me to like get my ass whooped or, you know, get into a fight with somebody here. It took for me to like notice that nobody was, no offense, the people that I encountered weren't really about it. And I was really just wasting my energy trying to be this tough dude when nobody cared. Yeah. Nobody cared.
Right.
Like, who am I? Like this 13-year-old like kid, like thinking I could, you know, rock somebody's life. And, you know, I had that mentality. And then going to the school, like, changed me, you know what I mean? Like, taught me about nonviolence, taught me about all the struggles of the people, and there's a bigger fight to fight.
Right. Yeah,
you know?
and kind of fighting with your mental versus just the lower physical.
Exactly.
You know, like, you can win more with your mind.
1,000%.
You can, you know, get into a fight and shit, and y'all will both leave hurt, but it didn't really solve the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It didn't. And that was one of them. You know, I'm not gonna lie. When my mom first told me, and my stepdad first told me that we were moving to Minnesota, I thought we were moving to like mountains where the wolves and the deer ran. You know, like for real. Like we were gonna live in a cabin. Like, like what the? I was super ignorant.
Right.
I was like, what the heck? I was literally like Googling like all the animals that lived here and like what I had to like prepare myself for.
Right.
You know?
Yo, and the crazy thing is like most people still kind of have that image and perception about up here. Like you mentioned the state. And I mean, to be honest though, it's true. I mean, you kind of forget how in the country we are until you go maybe 20 miles north or 20 miles south, 20 miles any direction, and shit gets a little sketchy.
Yeah.
You know, you like start seeing some billboards, you start seeing some shit where it's like, I do not want to even stop around these parks.
That's what I do for work. Yeah. I drive out, you know, I think the farthest I've drove was a little past St. Cloud, you know, but I just noticed you're watching Beast Street.
That's right. Yeah, man.
Jingle for the post. Sorry,
that's right. It's classic.
Yeah, yes. Hey, you're not a real hip hop head if you don't know this movie.
Hey. So yo, anyway. let's circle back, and then we'll get into the first song that we'll play of yours. But so as far as you were surrounded by music, you're playing the sax. You're influenced. There's hip hop all around you. I mean, it's basically in your bloodstream. You're basically from the land of hip hop.
Yeah.
When did you start? Was it like when did you start writing lyrics? Like when did you start using your voice as the instrument?
So when it was, believe it or not, you know, it was after I had left New York. It was after I had been here for so long. And when I moved to Illinois, it took me, you know, like, it took me an awakening, you know what I mean? You go through I've been through so much things in my life, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people could call it traumatic, fucked up, you know, experiences, like the struggle, the dirt, you know what I mean? Like, I've been there, you know, and I didn't take the time in all that stretch of life, because I was too busy living the moment and, going with what I knew. It took me to leave Minnesota, to be in an element that evidently I wasn't comfortable with because I moved back. You know what I mean? I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I love my family that was there and like all my people that were there, but just where I was not for me. So I had an awakening almost, and it was like, it's weird. I felt like I saw my whole life that I've lived already, and became more grateful. And, I probably shed a tear or two because I didn't have time to process everything that I've been through. You know what I mean? I just knew it as that's what I've done, and that's what I've done to get me here. And got to keep pushing, don't look back. But sometimes it's good to sit down and look back and just be like, okay, wow, like I'm a soldier. You know what I mean? Like I'm powerful. Like I have control of things, even if I don't. You know what I mean? Like, and just to be accepting of things of how they come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really started writing music. Somebody tried to battle rap me my senior year. and I was the one I was the beatboxer. You know what I mean? I was the one banging on the tables, or I was the one, really beatboxing. And I was good at it. I was pretty good at it. Don't get me wrong. And somebody started flaming me, and I was like, oh wait. And so I just hit them with a freestyle, just knowing what I knew. You know what I mean? Like I know poetry. I listen to hip hop every day.
Right,
it's my life. You know what I mean? And it was almost like I was natural with it. So then I took the Mims "Move If You Wanna" beat.
Okay.
And I started writing it. That was the first song I really wrote to, or the first beat I wrote to. I'll never forget.
That's dope.
And I was actually listening to it on the computer and typing the lyrics on the little notepad.
Yeah.
And that was really like the first song that I wrote. And I don't even remember how it goes or whatever. But I started doing that. And when I moved back here to Minnesota, I had some friends that, were doing like their open mics, and we're doing like the little shows here and there. And one of them just so happened to put me on. They're like, yo, boom. So,
Who was it?
It was the homies. They kind of don't make music anymore, but
That's
shout
cool.
out Kevin Reed.
Reed. Yeah, dog. Yeah.
Monopole Joe, like Sajak and them.
Was Beat a Man with them too?
Beat a Man, yeah. Beat a Man, shout out Beat a Man.
Okay.
Beat a Man's the old homie from,
man, he's
from
a
high
good guy.
school. Yeah, so
That's what's up.
and those are all the homies, But yeah, back when they were all doing shows as they were called New Life and Dream Team.
Oh, that's right.
You know,
Okay.
back in the day, and
Yeah, man.
I was going by Mike Check or whatever.
Oh
the heck.
shit, that was you. CHEK, right? MIKCHEK.
No, not that. No.
Oh,
That
okay.
wasn't me. I was going by like Mike, and I was going by like a million things. I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
But I made I did make a few tracks. I made like this mixtape, kind of. It was just like 5 or 6 songs that I put on SoundCloud, and I recorded on GarageBand with the mic that's built into the freaking laptop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I just put it out, and then I started doing shows, and I kind of I was doing that. I was working. I was doing all these things, and then I actually stopped making music for a little bit. I took a hiatus.
Sure,
you know what
man.
I mean?
Yeah.
And only because I felt like I could do better. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I took time to really find my sound, and then that's really when I dropped Por Favor, and then I started dropping things that I started meditating a lot, within those years that I stopped making music. I was meditating twice a day.
That's dope.
Yeah, real life, controlling my lucid dreams and
that's fire. Yeah, that's a whole other podcast. But if you can find those triggers of when you realize you're sleeping, there's a couple tricks. It's like knocking on a door and seeing if it goes through. There's a couple things that's if you notice it. And then the hardest part about controlling it is not getting too excited to wake up.
Yeah.
That's because when you start throwing fireballs and you're flying and shit, your heart just starts beating. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah. It's
that's dope, dude.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep. Whole other podcast, but
hell yeah.
I did that for a long time, and I had some experiences spiritually,
Okay.
And I came back and started making what I think was doper music, better music for me, and better sound, and it became, not that it wasn't a passion, but it was like a newly found again passion, if you will. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just started doing more shows and started really networking with people, you know, and trying to learn every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
learn
man.
every day from it, because there's no such thing as a perfect artist. You
That's
know
true.
what I mean?
So, yeah, we're going to get into your project Concrete Trees here once we come back. But this song we're going to start off with is called Brujo. Excuse my Minnesotan accent. And this is off of Concrete Trees, which is available at, I believe it's MikeDoseMPLS.bandcamp.com, correct?
Correct.
So this is the first track that we're playing from Mike Dose here. This is Brujo here on Organized Grind, the podcast with Oracle Uno. We'll be right back.
Organized Grind with Oracle Uno. Recorded live
we looking?
at Grassroots Studios
Looking pretty
in
fucking
South
legit.
Minneapolis.
They pill poppin', I wanna know, can you show me? Call me Phil Collins, I don't trust nobody but fam. Tell me how you feel about it, constructing the base of the base. I'm working without steel bottoms, and somehow they say that Mike Dose still got 'em. Mikey Dose, 2 mics, blow some trees, it's a cool night. The only compensation I'm asking for is them good vibes. If I tell you that I'm over north, and you ask me what the hood's like, in a room full of my people, man, that don't look right. Just look back at that history, it's clearly printed, you took that. So don't worry about my full name, but what I got in this book bag. To Maria, give us our roof back. Todavía, in English, that's every day. We still facing them pushbacks. Hail Mary, full of grace.
Es precioso.
Yes, y'all. This is Organized Grind, the podcast with Oracle Uno. You just heard a track from Mike Dose, who is in the house tonight. And that is off of a project called Concrete Trees. Now, is that your first project?
My first like legit project that I put out. I put out the Swag Rhinoceros mixtape.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Swag Rhinoceros?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Shout out to the old Swag Rhino. Yeah, funny story about that. I had a song that basically I said, yeah, I'm doing it big. Call my swag Rhinoceros. Like my swag is as big as a rhinoceros. Some people heard call me Swag Rhinoceros. So people started calling me Swag Rhinoceros, Swag Rhino. And so I took it and ran with it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, I channeled my inner rhino.
That's dope. So how did Concrete Trees come to be?
Man, I really wanted to work on a serious, legit project, and I, put out a single, which was Por Favor, and I really wrote. I just wrote on that single for a long time because I had so many other things that I wanted to, record. I wanted to work with certain people, and it was just really me networking and trying to find the right people to work with. I think, but. I think it turned out okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was going to shows, going to open mics, and meeting and talking with people, and whether it's getting advice or them sitting me down in a session and doing their thing. It was really the community that helped me bring about this dope project.
Sure. So just real quick, can you share maybe a piece of advice that you got from somebody?
Yeah, save your work on your computer to a hard drive, external hard drive.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like save
Right.
your work on an external. Make sure you have copies.
Have you been through some nightmares with that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And I know other people that have.
Ooh.
So I mean, that's just kind of. This is kind of like my best advice,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if we're talking about, you're working on stuff, make sure your hard work is safe.
Right.
Because you don't want to wake up one morning and it's not there.
Right. So I noticed, so the last track was produced by Julian Fairbanks from Audio Perm
Shout out
family. How did you guys connect?
Me and Julian, we went to high school together.
Okay.
Shout out South High.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yep. We were all cool back in the day. And then, I moved away, obviously, to Illinois. And when I came back, I started reconnecting with people. And it was funny, I had this old laptop, and I had this beat that Julian had gave me, like, a long time ago. Then the computer, like, crashed, and I couldn't find that beat. And so I, like, reconnected with him, and I was like, yo, you still making music? And little did I know I was gone, and Audio Perm and all that was starting to pop and things like things like that. So I kind of missed some good times. I was kind of salty about that, but I came back, and we started chopping it up, and he was showing me beats. Julian, he's a great dude, man.
Man.
He's a mad scientist when he's in the lab. I've seen that dude cook up a beat, in 10 seconds.
Hell yeah.
And like, man, he's a master.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. But we've been good homies since back in the day.
That's dope. And then I noticed a couple tracks were produced by someone named TZ1.
Yeah, shout out Tone TZ1.
Who's that?
He's a local native producer out here.
Okay. He has some fire on there, man.
He recorded he produced a lot of Manifesto's last project, I believe.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's a good homie too. He produced a lot of the tracks on there, and the other tracks were produced by different producers that I met, that worked with online and things like that.
Sure.
Just to kind of, hey, can I use your beat for free? I'll give you all the credit. Sure, boom, here we go, and that's all she wrote.
So did you have kind of an idea of what Concrete Trees was gonna be, or like when did you kind of put the bow on, like, all right, here's the project I'm gonna put out?
I think that like it kind of came together in pieces, and then formed up like Voltron.
Okay.
Yeah. But like Por Favor was one of the first singles I dropped, and like coming from where I come from, and my background, like the real like boom bappy, like kind of ode. It was like an ode to where I'm from. You know what I mean? When I heard it, and I know that's any kind of boom bop I can rock. You know what I mean? But I knew that, and I didn't want a whole album or a whole mixtape or whatever to just be boom bap. You know what I mean? So I try to incorporate a lot of different sounds into this project, where people can kind of hear my cadence and hear how I sound on different types of beats that I feel like a lot of artists don't showcase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of artists, they tend to stick with a certain type of beat or certain BPMs, for example, and that's kind of what they rock with. On this project, I switched it up. I got a slow jam. I got some singy kind of joints. There's definitely some boom bap. There's kind of a trap song on there a little bit. So it was kind of like just there's an instrumental kind of song on there. So I just really wanted to showcase my how I can flow on different things.
Your range.
My range. Yeah, I'm trying to find the word. The word's on tip of my tongue, but how fluid I can be on anything. You know what I mean? And I think that's important because not a lot of people are gonna rock with my boom bap stuff. My true stuff. Not a lot of people are gonna rock with like the singy, slow, emotional joints, or maybe some people aren't gonna rock with the trap joints. So it was kind of like a plethora. Like a charcuterie of like of flavor to give people. So kind of pick and choose what you like.
Yeah, that's dope. And so that actually just came out on Christmas of 2019.
Yep, Merry Christmas.
It's fresh. So for anyone listening, the 2 tracks on this podcast are from Concrete Trees. And once again, you can pick that project up at Mike Dos MPLS, and that's spelled like microphone, so MICDOS MPLS.bandcamp.com. It is available in full. How's the reception been for you?
It's been really good. It's been weirdly good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been with the songs that I put on there. Those are songs that I've had kind of for a while. You know what I mean? And at all the shows that I would do, and I do a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Like I do.
We're about to talk about that too.
I do a lot of shows, and I I do the same songs. That kind of sounds bad. Like I'll throw out like some new joints, or maybe I'll do a different version of a song that I've done already. But I think it's important for your base, your people here, to know your music. You know what I mean? If you keep throwing out new joints, it's kind of hard to kind of keep up. I love being able to perform at my shows now, and everybody knows the words.
That's right,
You know
that's
what I
right.
mean? Like, that's fun. That's what it's about. It's
Yeah, man.
about like getting you involved in this. Like, this isn't just my song. This is our song now. We're singing this together. Por
Hell
favor, or I'll be like the water amagua. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. Like, and I can go into a crowd of people that I've never met and sing those same songs and have them singing along with me by the time we're done. So
Yeah.
that's really what I did. So I pushed all those songs and I performed those songs enough that people love them. You know what I mean? It's not like, and it's not like, oh, yo, you heard that Mike Doe song? Oh, yeah, that song was dope. It was like, yo, I'm trying to, my Agua song. People love the Agua song. And, I have 2 versions of that song, so I have kind of like the one that I put on, the one that's on the mixtape, Concrete Trees. Sorry, I'm stumbling. And then I actually have like a trap version of that, which is pretty fun. And people like that too. So, I pushed that, and I was doing all kind of the same songs, and then I gave a gift on Christmas, now people can rock with it. So
That's dope, man. And I have to say too, I mean, you can really tell that you've mastered those songs, because the record is good, but you have to see you live. Like, I feel like you really kill those songs live now. Like, you really have a master on those. So besides Shut Up and Rap, which is Go 95's rap competition, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, because you're like the reigning champ, long streak with that. But what kind of shows have you been doing up here? Like what are some of your favorite experiences that you've had so far?
Oh, man. I think every experience that I've had are probably my favorite, just because.
Okay.
And I mean, that might sound cliche to say, but every show that I do is different, and I meet different people, and I feel a different way. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of took a hiatus from like smoking and drinking, for example. I was sober for like 4 or 5 months.
Congrats, man. That's
Thank
huge.
You. I was. It was,
Yeah, that's big.
But like just kind of being in that element, and those shows were obviously different.
Yeah.
So I think it's really it's all unique.
All right. So do you have a favorite venue that you like to play?
Favorite venue. I like Pimento, just because I've been rocking there. But I think my home venue is definitely Park Wolf.
Okay.
The old Nomad.
The Nomad, yeah.
That's kind of like, if you're Southside, you're Southside. You know what I mean. And that's the spot. I honestly, I think the coolest place that I've performed at, I don't know. It's been so many, but I like kind of like the smaller, intimate spots. Those are dope.
Yeah.
The bigger spots are cool too. Like tomorrow, I'm actually performing at 7th Street Entry at First Ave. So that's the first time I performed there. So I'm excited about that.
Dude, that's gonna be fresh.
Yeah.
I love their sound. Like you're gonna love their sound person, and just rocking up there, because like the monitors, like you can really hear yourself.
That's good.
It's sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Like you can control your voice. You can do everything you want without like wondering if you're getting it in. You know what I'm saying? I fucking love the entry. What's that show about?
So that is the Digital Fruit. It's actually put on by QT Question Mark, Deontay, Tom Coughlin, who's dope producer, and he's going to be doing some live things.
Dope.
DJ Roisin, and me. Yeah, so
Tight,
we're all
man.
going to be just rocking out. There's going to be art by Adrian Lowen.
Okay.
He does some incredible stuff. But yeah, no, it's going to be a little party, man. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. This is kind of like my manifestation of all last year. You know what I mean? I wanted to do all these things, and it's happening. I don't know how it's happening. Maybe it's because I've just been so good.
Yeah, no, exactly, man. It's like it's karma points,
I'm telling you, man.
You do good, you get good.
It's It's real. It's real.
Yeah, man.
Meditate and you levitate.
For sure. So Shut Up and Rap. It's the Go 95, which is our local modern hip hop station here in town. They put on a rap competition where there's like 8 people a night and they compete or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 or 7 people. Mm-hmm. They all perform a song in front of judges who are well known in the community, the music community here. Whether they're part of the local labels or the DJs from the station or things like that. People that you would kind of take their criticism. You would be like, oh yeah, I guess they know what they're doing. Sure. But yeah, no, you perform a song and they judge you based on whatever they think they need to judge you on, and and you kind of go from there.
So how did you get involved in the first place?
Man, I actually performed at the first Shut Up and Rap ever.
Oh wow!
Created, yeah.
Oh shit!
I was like the last champion of the last week, and I went and performed at the state fair.
Damn.
Yeah, it was cool, and I lost that obviously, and then I think I performed for Shut Up and Rap like a few more times, didn't win, which is fine, and then I think it was this last time I was like, let me try. Let me just try one more time. Yeah, and not that I had given up hope, but I was I was busy with other stuff. I was busy on dropping the project and making things like that, and so I was just like, let's do it. And I performed one of the songs, "Oh You Think It's Funny." You can find that on the Concrete Trees too. I performed that, and it's a big like crowd participation song. And, the crowd, when the crowd has something to say back to you, they love it. You know what I mean? Like, and I love it. I love when we're all doing it together.
Yeah.
Again, it's not just like my song; it's our song at this point.
That's right.
But I performed that, and then surprisingly won. That was pretty dope. And then I went to defend my reign, and I lost.
Okay.
But I was still in the running. The championship round.
Yeah.
So then I came back in the championship round and took it. So that was pretty cool.
That's dope. So for that very first one, did you have to reach out to them or did they reach out to you?
You submit your music, right? And they kind of skim through it. And if they think you're hot and you're dope and you'd be a good candidate, then they put you on. But yeah, they do screen them. So no offense. Like, I don't believe there's whack artists, but if you're not what they deem as not whack, they're not going to put you on.
Sure.
So I mean, there is a little bias, but like I've seen all types of artists go up there.
Sure, yeah, man.
All types. So they do give people a chance.
Okay.
But shout out to Go 95. They're doing big things, for the community.
That's true, man. Cool. Yeah, that whole team. I mean, just to see the DJs, excuse my stutter, that have been recruited for them. Like, they're all locally homegrown DJs, and so to see them with a platform like that is truly amazing.
Right.
So it's really cool to see. But so you mentioned you won the championship.
Boom.
You took home the championship.
Boom.
Prize of the championship. You're gonna perform at Soundset. Woo! Oh shit, Mike Dose is going to Soundset.
Oh man.
Someone we all love and support is going to Soundset. We're gonna rally.
I'm going.
And then they dropped the announcement, no Soundset this year.
Damn.
What happened?
I have no idea. I don't know.
How does that make you feel, dog?
Okay. I've never been to Soundset.
Okay.
Never been to Soundset. I've lived here for a long time, like I said, but
sure.
I've never been. It's always something that happened. I didn't have the money.
Yeah.
The lineup was maybe not hot.
Yeah.
So I spent the money that I was going to use it on something else.
Yeah.
It was always like inconvenient.
Right.
And I told a bunch of the homies, I was like, you know what? The day I go to out of like kind of like anger, I was like, you know what? The day I go to Soundset, the day I perform.
Sure.
How about that?
Sure.
That's the day, since I never go.
Yeah.
And so it's just funny that now, like, my manifestation of what I said was now happening. I was like, oh damn, like, this is kind of dope. Like, I said it and it's happening, literally happening.
Yeah.
And when they dropped the news, I was honestly, like, it felt weird, but I was just like, oh damn.
Yeah, man.
Oh damn. Like, and like, again, I had never experienced Soundset and how great it was. Like, again, it was never worked out for me.
Right.
And so I was bummed, but I wasn't like heartbroken. You know what I mean? I was just like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, dude.
But
you were the first person I thought of when I read that announcement. I was like, yo, Mike Dose, though.
I got hit up by by so many people. Like, yo, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna like put you on something else?
Right,
like,
man.
You know,
why? Like, you would think there'd be some sort of communication between.
Yeah, they're like, they didn't tell you. Like, what the heck?
Man.
And I was like, yo, hey, look, all I know is they said they got me. So
okay, well, dope.
Look,
if they said that much, then that's dope.
And
that's
the people that are going on the fight are good people. You know what I mean? Like good homies. So obviously I believe them, but you know, I know.
Well, that's good. That's good that they said something instead of just like leaving you out to dry and like no word from anybody about what's going on.
I mean, look. At the end of the day, like I'm not like super tripping. Again, like I've never been to Soundset, so cool. But you know, one door closes, another one opens, you know, and as soon as that happened, actually somebody reached out to me about another opportunity that was happening at the same time, and they're like, yo, since Soundset's not happening, like I just personally reached out to such and such to see if we can get you on this big event. Dope. And I was like, yo, thank you.
Hell
like, you didn't what? Like that came out of nowhere, you know, like thank you so much for looking out for me. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah,
we'll definitely see what happens. I'm excited for the summer and to see, like, you know, it's cold. Like, this is something I think about, you know, not to, like, go off on a tangent.
No, man, go ahead.
But, like, I dropped the project when it's cold. Mm-hmm. You know, like, people aren't able to, like, go out and enjoy it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I'm excited to, like, maybe, you know, hear some people, you know, Southside Minneapolis bumping the songs with their windows open or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, like that's kind of like my dream, you know.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Yeah,
cool.
no, that's dope. I'm really happy to hear that. You know, like Soundset is cool, you know, but like you were saying, man, like it's another show, and it's nothing, you know, and it's really cool to hear that even though a window shut, it seems like a lot of doors opened versus the window. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That might be a little more impactful, you know, that, you know, might go further.
Facts.
You know, so
that's true.
That's really dope to hear. And like I was saying, man, like don't be down on it. You know, I mean, it's
never.
It's
and
cool.
I wasn't. That's the thing is like a lot of people like, you know, thought I was going to be like upset about it. And like, I was just, my reaction when I looked at it is I laughed. When I saw that and they announced it, I literally laughed.
Right.
I was like, wow. Yep. Okay, whatever. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
You know, and that's kind of like how I live life.
Who knows, too? I mean, you know, they keep saying that they're going to come back. By this time next year, you might be in a position where they might have to throw you that bag to come play at Soundset.
Throw me the bag.
You know what I'm saying? So
pay me.
We'll see. We'll see, man.
We
but
will.
All right, I'm gonna get into this last commercial break, and then we'll get into some final words, and we'll wrap this thing up, man.
All right.
We got Mike Dose on Organized Grind, the podcast. I'm Oracle Uno. Hey, what's up, world? This is Oracle Uno on the check-in. Are you looking for a gift idea for a loved one or maybe yourself? Why don't you let me paint you a custom painted canvas, 12-inch vinyl, or skateboard deck? All you have to do is give me the names and the colors of your choice, and I'll have it done, painted, and shipped within a week of your order. For canvases, I start at 11 by 14 inches and up, 12-inch vinyl records, just like the records that you would put on a turntable and listen to. They are records from my personal collection that I just don't want no more, so I'm turning them into art. And then skateboard decks, I offer just the deck or a fully built skateboard option. And once again, that's free shipping in the US. If you're interested, check out graffrootsmedia.com. That is GRAFF as in fresh, ROOTSMEDIA.com. Graffrootsmedia.com. Thank you for listening to Organized Grind, the podcast, and your continued support. Peace and love. Yes. This is Organized Grind, the podcast with Oracle Uno, kicking it with Mike Dose.
What up?
Wrapping this thing up. So an earthquake just hit Puerto Rico not too long ago. Did you have any family that was affected by that, or any trouble that came from that?
Yeah, my great grandparents, they still live on the island. They live in Cabo Rojo, so
Okay.
they didn't have too much damage, thank God. A lot of people, friends and stuff that we know, are suffering, but my great grandparents, they don't have electricity. They haven't had electricity for a while.
Shit.
Yeah, it's rough. So
Yeah.
they trying to make do. That they're elders. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they definitely seek help to the community and stuff like that. So, but no, shout out to everybody who's been trying to help. A little bit matters.
Yeah,
and
man.
people need to remember that if everybody contributes a little bit, to help an island, that's, everybody, I don't want to get into the politics.
Right.
But look,
well, I was just about to ask about the whole supplies thing that just happened.
Right. All I want to say is, as long as we don't forget our people.
Right.
You know what I mean? We can't forget our people. Like, the world is changing. The world is going through things right now, like that we don't understand, and that a lot of us are turning a blind eye to.
It's true, man.
And it's scary. You know what I mean? Like, we would joke about it, back in the day, like, oh, the ends of times, and the world's gonna burn, and this is gonna happen, and it's literally happening. The things that we would joke about or read about, and like, what the end of the world is gonna look like. Like, I'm not trying to scare people, but it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. You know what I mean? Like, our forests are burning. Australia's on fire. The Amazon is burning. The tsunami that hit Japan, years ago, that just messed up the whole ocean. Our oceans are poisoned. Worse, 30 times worse than Chernobyl.
Yeah, man.
And leaking into the ocean where everybody goes fishing. I can go on. Our oceans are poisoned.
And now we got this virus and
our
shit.
Our air is no good. People, the viruses, like things that are hidden, viruses that are hidden in the ice, and now it's melting, and like now those things, there's 1,000,006 things that are going on right now, but we too worried about our iPhones, or you know what I mean, or so. And don't get me wrong, like, I love to live in ignorance too. We all do, because
it's cuddly, it's safe.
It's safe.
It's like a warm blanket.
It is. But when our Mother Earth, our madre, when she's angry right now,
Yeah.
She is. And what's going on in the Caribbean right now, Puerto Rico being affected, Jamaica and Cuba being affected now. They just got hit with a 7.3 tsunami warnings. You know what I mean? Like, I always look at the bigger picture things, right? Like, something's pop. It's easy to justify, to say that something's popping off in the Caribbean right now, and it doesn't look good, because we haven't had that type of activity there for as long as we recorded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are those called?
Yeah, it feels like it's just been an onslaught.
There's so many things happening. And that's why this year is going to be very interesting, because, our summers are getting hotter, winters are getting colder at certain spots. Our winter is actually, coming later in our years.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into like all
right.
this, but
and just like the trees and stuff like that too. I'm noticing like some trees don't even die off. Some, it's taking longer for that transition to happen.
Things are out of whack right now,
and I feel it.
And things are changing, and we are not ready. Some of us are, but consciously and like spiritually, a lot of us are not ready for this.
Yeah,
and and me and you might not see the change, or the transition, or what takes place, and maybe our kids and our grandkids or whoever down, they'll see it, and that's why we're doing what we're doing now. We were talking about the movement of the people, and like us fighting. We got to fight for our planet. We got to fight for our people. We got to fight for our lands. We got to fight for our water, our agua. We got to fight for, just to be able to live. You know what I mean? But we all got to come together, and music is something that brings us all together.
Definitely.
I always joke with people, and I say, if aliens came to this earth right now, like they wouldn't understand what we're saying. I mean, they might, but like music would be, they could hear the tones, they can hear the beat, you know what I mean? So if somebody played some like angry metal, you know what I mean? They'd probably see that as aggressive. Yeah. To be like, okay, that's aggressive. What are y'all doing?
Right.
If you, take the guitar behind you, start strumming, something super soft and singing, they would probably understand like, oh yeah, he's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's something to think about.
Yeah,
but
man.
Music is a language. So
for sure. So on that note, that's a really good way to segue into this. What's in the future for Mike Dose? Is there anyone that you're looking to collab with? Do you have a new project coming out? Any new shows coming up? What should the world know about what's happening in Mike Dose's world?
Ooh, so obviously there's going to be 1,000,006 shows, but I think this year, especially this summer, I keep kind of counting on the summer, but the summer is going to be a whole new wave of a movement.
Okay.
And that's what I want to create. I want to create a movement with this music. I want all artists of all type of genres and all facets of art to come together. You know what I mean? If there's not going to be a Soundset, that doesn't mean we can't throw a festival.
Oh, of
you
course.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can. You know how many artists are filled in this city? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, even if it's somebody who paints faces at Nickelodeon Universe, like, you know what I mean? Like, come through. But that's just ideas. But in terms of like things that are really going on, I do have a few shows. Like I said, tomorrow I have a show at 7th Street Entry at First Avenue.
Yeah.
I have a few more shows at some local bars, Bullwinkles. This Friday, I'm going to be performing for $500. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, everybody needs the bread, right?
Hell yeah, man.
$500, let's get it.
Yeah. That's better than getting a Soundset invitation that doesn't come through. I'm just fucking around, guys, if anyone's listening. But,
Exactly. No, but no, I think what's important is this year I'm going to do a lot of traveling.
Dope.
Because I don't want my music just to be here.
Yes.
And heard here.
Right.
And I think that other people around the world will love it. I got an uncle in Colombia who owns a production company, international production company.
Wow.
So I might go to Colombia later this year and
man.
try to see what's good with him. He's been working with some big names in the Latino reggaeton community, like Nengo Flow and Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, yeah.
He's been doing some big things. So I'm going to check out what's good down there. I'm going to go back home to New York, mingle with the family out there, see what's good, And even if it's doing a couple open mics or seeing what's good at the local bar, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it is. I'm new to these cities in terms of artists and how to get it, you know what I mean? And all I have is my name and my credentials that I've gotten from the city that loves me and the city that saved me, Minneapolis.
Hell yeah, man.
So yeah, I'm just gonna take my music around and see what's good. See where it pops, see what happens, and that's it, man. I live every day. I like surprises. You know what I mean? So if my surprise is tomorrow, I don't wake up surprised. I lived a good life. I had a really good time with you doing this podcast.
I had
you know
a good time
what I mean?
with you too, man. And I really hope you wake up tomorrow morning.
Hey, I will. No, I definitely
knock on
will.
some wood
hey,
for you,
look,
man.
Look, I definitely will. But if tomorrow for some reason I wake up and I don't want to do music anymore, I'm still happy with what I've done. Everything is a surprise, and I let it come how it comes, and I don't have expectations for nothing because everything's going to happen the way it happens. I have no control.
Word. Perfect way to say it. Man.
Hey, so if whatever happens, I'm excited. All I know is that with my positivity and, the good spirit that I try to keep and, the way that I think and the way that I move, fluid with the agua, like.
That's right.
Those things, whatever I want, will happen in some way, some shape, or form. So,
word up.
Bring it.
Word up. Well, this has been Organized Grind, the podcast with Oracle Uno. We got Mike Dose. This has been episode 44. Why don't you introduce this lead single that kind of kicked off everything here?
Yeah, so the song is called Por Favor. The song is really about keeping the love in, keeping whatever negativity and BS out. It's a little bit of introduction about me. But it's a song really about the people and the love I got for y'all. So thank y'all for listening. I appreciate it. This is Por Favor by Mike Dose. Love it.
Dope. Yo, Concrete Trees available now. Get that at mikedosemPLS.bandcamp.com. My name is Oracle Uno. This has been Organized Grind, the podcast. As always, peace and love.
Organized Grind with Oracle Uno. Recorded live at Graph Fruit Studios in South Minneapolis.
This is the truth if you ain't know. I don't even gotta tell most of y'all already know. The things that we do here is something magical. Real shit. Mike Dose. Yeah.
Me and them, my people who get it cause of necessity. Fell off just for a second cause I ain't give y'all the best of me. Sorta like I was wrestling my free will versus destiny, pressuring me to stop everything that I do, but mentally, see, I was in this for the love of the music. Always had the power to get it, but never abused it. No bruises. I'm so ruthless when I have the mic. Don't know what the roof is, cause the truth is I am the sky. Don't care who your boo is. I'm finna drop this new shit. Just show me where the booth is so I can lay this track tonight. Latin night, see me tango. DJ play that fucking sango. Double shot of vodka and a touch of mango. Soul and body on the balanced plane. You sound familiar. I'm trying to be the opposite of sound the same. Bazooka lyrics finna ground your name. Looking for enlightenment but accidentally found the fame. So, por favor, I need you to close the door cause you letting that love out. Meditate and roll out that dumb loud. Was in the back of your mind, now I'm all in the front now. Por favor, I need you to close the door cause you letting the love out. Meditate and roll out that dumb loud. Was in the back of your mind, now I'm all in the front now. Two-faced Gemini on that bullshit like a Taurus though. I'm lit as fuck flying through the horoscopes to keep yelling Mike, hold your horses bro, I'm never pulling reins. I'm trying to climb the ladder quickly, mama, look what I became. Not another rapper in your city. I'm an artist trying to paint my words clearly while still making it look pretty. And I just hope that people see that. Wallet full of music notes but I can never be flat, believe that. So, por favor, you letting the love escape the room. Me and my minions trying to take the moon, hang it from the ceiling of First Ave while I start playing your favorite tune. And I hope that it's Mike Dose, eyes closed, you can hear that I'm lyrically psycho, but lipo couldn't thin me out. I know my love is what you think about, but ain't no love if you ain't bring the loud. They want us to sing it proud, but I'm with Kaepernick, man, I'm sitting down. Bronx native from a different town. I'm from the birth of this music, I have the right. I'm always up, I always do shit, but not tonight. I meditate and medicate until I found the light. I'm trying to organize, look up to the golden skies, asking the great universe to help my soul to rise. It's like I'm watching my planet and a black hole collide. To mama to go inside, it's gonna be cold tonight. Por favor, I need you to close the door cause you letting the love out. Meditate and roll up that dumb loud. Was in the back of your mind, now I'm all in the front now. Por favor, I need you to close the door cause you letting the love out. Meditate and roll up that dumb loud. Was in the back of your mind, now I'm all in the front now. Por favor, close the door, close the door. Close the door, you letting all of the love out. You letting all of the love out. And I don't feel it.